what's going on, guys? All right, so today we're going to be installing a couple of zone dampers. So I thought it would be a good chance to make a video. I've had a few requests for it, to do step-by-step how to install a zone damper, or in this case, it's going to be replacing one of the old spring style dampers with a new electronic one. So in either case, if you're wanting to know how to install a damper with nothing being there, or how to replace a damper, this video will be good for that. All right, so I'll get to the house and then we'll start the video. All right, guys, so I'll give you a quick peek on the style of damper we're going to be doing. These are the Honeywell ARDs, and this one is going to be, I believe it's the 12-inch damper. Yeah, so it's the ARD12TZ, and this is your normal electronic damper. And these have the 3-wire placement, the M1, M6, M4. So this is the power open, power close, and your middle wire. Most of your older dampers are going to just have a 2-wire setup. It's okay. You can just use your M1 and M6, and this will work just fine. The middle one is to allow you to be able to have your lights green. It'll light up green when it's open, red when it's closed. If you don't run that middle wire, everything will still work like it's supposed to. You just won't get them lights up on here. But either way, we're gonna go inside, get up in the attic, and we'll start the video back. All right, so this is gonna be our damper we're replacing right here. And these are the old spring-loaded dampers. They have the little bar that opens and closes. These things get stuck really bad when they start getting older, and it's usually when you see one, it's going to stick at some point. So they're really good to get swapped out. So this is going to be the same way, even if you didn't have a damper here. I'm going to show you how to install the new one. And if you're in the situation where you're just wanting to put in a damper out when you don't have one there before, just pretend like this ain't even here. It's going to be the same process. All right. So first thing we're going to do is undo the wires. And they're going to have some screws in them. So you want to go around and get your screws out. Go ahead and make sure our power, just go ahead and turn your power off. No power on the board. We're going to start by undoing these wires. That one just came off. All right. And I believe I should have an extra. Yeah, I'll have some extra wires. I can do the middle wire as well, the M4. All right. So I'm going to get all these screws out. Actually, you probably want to get your silver, get that insulation pulled back, and go ahead and disconnect your inner duct off of here, and then we can take the screws out. All right, so we got our duct taken off of it, and then have the screws taken out. So now we're gonna remove this thing. Very little room in this attic. Okay. I also got the mousetrap floor hell in here, so you gotta be careful where we're stepping. I'm also going to be replacing an 8-inch, and that's right back there. That one's stuck, pretty much stuck closed, it won't open. But we'll just mainly film this this 12-inch that I'm doing now, just to give you an idea on how it's going to go. Other stuff you're going to need when you do this, you're going to need tape. I just threw them in the box. You're going to need your zip ties. And also a zip tie gun and screws, drill. And you can also mastic it. I'm probably not going to mastic it this time. Just tape it up real good and squeegee it down, but it never hurts to put a little mastic on it too. All right. So I mean, these are pretty self-explanatory. If you're just wanting to install a damper without one being there before, and you're installing his own system, you'll just take your duct off of your takeoff, and this will slide right on. This is going to be your crimped end. It's going to be facing out, and this is going to be the end that slides on your takeoff. And then just get your motor to where it's going to be facing. Whoever's servicing the unit can see where if the damper's opened or closed or whatever. You don't want to have this sticking straight down or straight up. You want it pointing pretty much where you can visually look straight over at it and see it. All right, so I'm going to get this up here and get it screwed on. So as you can see, I got it on here, and I have the damper module facing where you want to be able to see it. So just like that. And now I'm going to put a few screws in this side over here, attaching it to the takeoff. All right, so we got this thing screwed all the way around. Got one in the top and bottom, and then one on each side. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna, it's hard to do one-handed. We're gonna get this thing taped all the way around, make sure it's sealed up. I'll come back with a card and rub it all in. All right, then do the back side, and then we'll get our duct hooked up. All right, so I've slid my duct on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put a zip tie around this, and then I also like to go ahead and just tape it too, just to be safe. So now we're ready to get our silver pulled up all the way to the front. And when you have a duct that you hadn't used before for a damper, you're gonna have to cut you open a place for this to stick out. Something I do sometimes, it makes it a little easier, is I'll just split it from where I want the hole to be all the way to the end. Split it, pull the insulation apart, slide it all the way up, and then you can pull it back together and tape it up real good. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna split this all the way to where the existing hole was, and then pull this up where I want it to be, and then we'll get it all taped up and looking good. All right, so when you get it pulled up, it's gonna look a little like this. We're just gonna get our tape. Make sure your insulation is pulled all the way forward, and then we're gonna get this connected with the other side and get it taped. Make sure you tuck all your insulation back behind your damper. Okay, and then it's just a matter of getting it taped up and looking nice and neat in there. All right, so I'll get that finished, and we'll go start on the wiring. All right, so this damper is going to be zone 2. And you see it's got the M1 and M6. We have plenty of extra wires. So I'm gonna get this blue wire, strip it, and we're gonna make it our M4. And we'll also put that in here. We're just gonna go ahead and cut these back some. And on this side, we will add our blue wire to it. All right, so make sure that your wires are going to match up. So right here we have white is M1, blue is M4, red is M6. All right, and then on your damper, it's going to say the same thing. So we have white. And then for the, sorry about the lighting, it's just terrible in here. So for M4, it has this little tab on it that's blocking it. You just want to get that and push it back, and it'll break it off. It's designed to do that. All right. So we're going to use blue. It's going into M4. And then red is our M6. All right, all three are in. And this is also looping with that 8-inch I showed you earlier. So we're gonna, this is the wire that goes back to it. It's both for one zone, so it's an upstairs. That's, if you've seen my other video, I'll put it up. I'll put it in the description, and it'll also be up here on the screen. If you hadn't seen it, it's how to install a zone system, the zone board, and all the wiring. But this isn't going to be in one circuit with the other damper that's attached to the board that runs the entire upstairs. All right, so for this damper, we're going to run the 3 wires again, and we're going to put them in. Each one of these have 2 open slots. So we're going to add these wires into M1, M4, and M6, and that's going to power your other damper that we're going to go look at next. All right. So we got all of them in there, and you can see now exactly what I was talking about, how there's 2 open places. But if you can do that one, then you can install these Honeywell zones. So that's it. You can run as many in a circuit as you want. You could have 4, 5, 6, it doesn't matter, as long as you loop it to the next one and keep going. They'll all run at the identical time when that one zone is calling. So you got the wiring is finished, the damper's installed, and that's about it. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. So I hope this helped. There's not a lot to the dampers. You can overcomplicate it whenever you're new and you don't know how to do it for sure. But it's just a couple wires and just putting it in between where the duct used to hook up. So I mean, it's super simple. The hard part is the board and the wiring for it. If you hadn't ever done it before, that's where you can definitely overthink stuff. So I'd always recommend going back and watching that video as well. I put it in the description for installing the zone board and wiring up all the dampers and the board and the transformer. The whole 9 yards is in that video. But to talk about the upcoming stuff real quick, so we got a few things in the works. Some tool reviews are coming up. I'm still working with Kyle-Weats. I got a few new meters coming out that I'm going to be doing some reviews on, and I'm also in the process of getting some other major brands to let me do some reviews on their stuff as well. So my goal is to start doing about 1 review a week, maybe 1 review every couple weeks, and then also along with that doing just regular service calls. I want to get back to doing just I'm pulling up and recording, and I haven't been in the house, and we figure it out together as I'm recording it. So that's sort of the direction I want to go with the channel. Just natural service calls that's not altered or not scripted at all, that I'm figuring it out as I'm recording it. So that's what's coming up, and I'll keep you posted on what new brands we're going to get. This close to being able to say it out loud what all it is, but that'll be upcoming in the next couple weeks or so. All right, well, I hope this really helped somebody, and if you're new to the channel, please, I really appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed the content, and leave a comment if you enjoyed it, or if you need anything to say, or if you have anything you'd like to ask for a video in the future. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you at the next video. Peace.